I suppose this isn't the worst case scenario of how I could take a video. It could be in many different settings, and I could portray myself in a manner where I'm over here and doing this at my desk, and it wouldn't really be a problem. But the thing is, I just happen to love blue skies, and you know, this place, this location isn't all that bad. And while I may carry a sword and do weird things, like it may be more acceptable when I'm walking my dog or something, you know, that would make more sense. You know, I just happen to like this setting. It's very peaceful and calm. I don't really care what other people think, and the only inconvenience is the people walking by, or you know, just outside sounds or influences, which, you know, always gets affected by the environment. I got to provide the peak environment possible for everything that I do. You know, I like the sounds of the water, everything around me, and it's just really calm and peaceful. So this is kind of where I'll do some of my videos in times where I'm staying at home, working from home. I think that'd be more simple. You know, you can go to different locations every time. That's something I want to do, but for now, I'm just gonna settle down, ease up. Right now, I happen to be doing a bit of a video addition onto my Idaho trip, so I think that's pretty cool. All the videos that I put together, I put a soundtrack in the background called, I think, Bounce, by my friend, and now I'm just trying to synchronize it manually, which is extremely difficult on Adobe Premiere, and have some fun doing that there. And then I'm gonna turn it into a 1-minute Instagram clip and basically post it there, post it to Facebook, blah, blah, blah. I think if I make it any longer than 1 minute, it'll just be really hard and complicated, which I can do perfectly fine. Yeah, cool. But, you know, 1 minute, simple, easy, done, formatted, son. So I just want to have some fun with that. Today, what I've been learning on a very... Oh, by the way, I've worn this shirt since like freshman year. So, pretty cool. What I've been working on today is really understanding the outside forces of who I'm trying to help. So recently in the previous video, I was talking about how I was trying to be able to grow and deliver myself into a specific niche market, like getting really serious. And more than that, just like overall, all the problems that I or someone else can encounter, just being able to break through those barriers. So I had to decide for myself that I was going to move forward and I was going to tackle this, and I was really going to get serious about it. Because if I didn't commit, then nothing would move forward in the forward progression that would make sense. I would always be trying to achieve progress, but I never had a constructive process to be able to do that. So you have to understand, at some point you have to have a solid foundation in how you're going to achieve these things. Otherwise, everything you step into, all the desires that you aim for, you'll never end up hitting it. You're aiming for nowhere. But that's what I had to do. And that's how I'm going to push through and move forward. I had to niche down to be able to move up. So now I'm essentially targeting coaches, consultants, speakers, business owners, possibly executives. I don't know about that yet. But for the most part, the majority of the people that I want to be able to speak with are women. And I feel like women are definitely someone who are going to contribute greatly into the future and are going to be great leaders. I think they have a voice that needs to be heard, and definitely very compelling reasons to do so. And a lot of us are avoiding or stereotyping them into believing that they don't exactly have this voice that's worth it. They don't have a leadership mentality or the ability to stand up as that authority figure. And I think some of us have got it wrong, man. These women are powerful beings, and they are amazing creatures, and they are here to be able to save the world in so many different ways. And if you can understand and put yourself into that place that you're here to serve all of humankind, then bam, women is a massive market to be able to help deploy their empathy and their message. So that's what I want to be able to do. I want to be able to work with women from 35 to 65, as well as men from 25 to 55. And the reason being is because women actually happen to peak in their capacity of how they are able to grow, their growth mindset. So once they get past a certain age, like 60, then they continue to grow, and men happen to drop in their improvement. So there's a really interesting thing that I learned today with this growth mindset. There is like an improving mindset, which is the growth mindset, and there's a proving mindset. So basically, it's acceptance, in acceptance, and in approving type of mentality. So people who typically tend to prove themselves and go out of their way to say, hey, you know what, I'm worth this and I'm worth that and da 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 da. You know, those people who posture themselves and pick themselves up real big and talk big, they don't actually have the credibility to back it. Typically, these people are actually lacking confidence. It's really odd, but so secure in knowing that they have insecurities. People who are not trying to prove themselves and are in acceptance of the improvement that they need to have are going to be open-minded, and they're going to be open to suggestions, and they're constantly going to have a want and desire to grow. They have a growth mindset. So understanding the border between these two perspectives and how people can think, some people grow into that in older age and want to improve. Others consistently prove themselves and then get into this perfection complex. Where do you want to be? It's really fascinating. And basically, that's a bit of what I learned. I also learned a whole lot of stuff. I probably didn't retain much of it because I went through like 20 different articles of a whole bunch of stuff today from like 9 something a.m. to 3 p.m. and I just spent 6 hours of going through a ton of random but necessary articles based on my niche market, understanding what's going on in today and society with the coaching market. You know, these coaches, they happen to be in a position where the coaching industry is booming. It's growing. Like, it is a massive market that is expanding. This personal development industry is huge. Like, it's like 12 billion now or something. And to think that, you know, so many people are buying into their own development, their own improvement, their own self-awareness, and how they can be able to obtain more knowledge to grow and contribute. That's phenomenal. So a $12 billion market, in $1 billion of that space is going to be coaching, the coaching industry. And to see that it's growing at a rapid rate, a lot of these coaches are establishing themselves in the right manner, but a lot are not. A lot don't have the credibility, let alone the certifications to be able to do that. And they're ruining the reputation for the coaching space. So what I want to be able to do is step into that space and represent myself well and create the experiences and especially the results for those people when I do step into the coaching industry. Of course, I'll have my brand and everything to be able to back that up when I do that. And that may be some years from now, because I got to learn about all these coaches, how to serve them, who they are, what their market's like, their niche, and who they want to be able to help, what kind of results, and doing sales, understanding where their head is, and boom, now I can be a coach for coaches. Awesome. So that's what I'll be working on. That's my idea. My other idea is also to be able to grow this whole Coaches Academy sort of thing, so be able to have everybody in this space. That'd be great, you know. Everybody teaches with their own grace. So moving forward from all that, you know, I just obtained this mentality and this understanding of what the industry is like, who these people are, some stereotypes on women and how people perceive them, and just a whole giant bunch of agreements of these different perspectives on outside points of view, things that I don't normally take in, knowledge that I don't normally want to bring myself into, because I don't like to stereotype people, I don't like to label people, I don't like to see people as black and white. Everybody is similar, everybody can have an agreement, a consensus, but so many people put them over here and decide to make their decisions based off of a demographic or some stupid stuff like that. Like, I don't see it. But, you know, the world has to have some sort of truth to it for people to label people like that and say, you can't do this because of this, you know? It may not just be a stereotype. It may be because parts of it are true. Parts of it may not be true, though. So you got to be able to understand the distinction, the discernment between those two realms. And I don't have enough knowledge to be able to say that, to know it, to do it. So I can't really show it. I don't, you know, there's just this open bubble as for what I'm able to obtain in learning about this. And it's just quite fascinating, really. I always didn't like the idea of stepping into learning and obtaining psychology, an understanding of the human mind and what goes on behind people's thoughts. Because I thought that once I was able to do that, obtain people's thoughts and why they make certain decisions, then I would be cheating. I would be going in and gripping their brain, turning them around and saying, hey, you got to do this because I just tricked your mind, son. And I just didn't think that was okay. So I'm like, hey, you know what? I don't want to study psychology. I don't want to do these books. I don't want to do any of that. But as I get deeper into the space, I'm like, you know what? This is probably like a certification for what it is you want to be able to achieve. And it probably really helps in creating results, just like NLP. So why not go and learn more stuff that'll actually be able to change people's lives? If you're not manipulating them, it's okay, right? So why not learn something that could be constructive in building the knowledge in the process for you to be able to help others achieve greater things? I think psychology can be a good thing, just like personal development and self-awareness. It's all in the same realm. So understanding one's mind and how they think, how they produce, that's what I need to do. So all of these things in this collective experience and how I'm able to help people, I need to obtain a massive foundation for what I'm able to set out and achieve, right? How I'm going to do that is through sales, is through branding, it's through helping coaches, consultants, and speakers, this entire niche market, grow and get their message out there. And better understanding them will help me better understand how I can obtain serving that industry. And I have to find the right people to serve and connect with the right people that will serve the rest of the world and embrace change. Then once I can do that, then I can really tackle and step into the place that I want to be on the field so that I can be able to bring my team in and start changing the world with massive grace. And I think I'll be able to have a good number of people to back me at that from the start into the finish. You know, it just depends on that trust and that relationship that you're able to build with them and how much they want to see you grow and the rest of the world grow and achieve your vision. You know, that depends on how well you put yourself out there consistently and you build that credibility and you carry that integrity and you establish that foundation of trust with the people that ride on your vehicle with you. You know, some people, they happen to have an outside perspective or a prejudice on you, and they'll just like be like, hey, you know, I don't like you. From how you're treating me here, you know, it's all wrong. I don't like it. I don't want to talk to you. Everything's okay. And then every once in a while, they just happen to stumble across one of your pieces of content after choosing not to have talked to you. And they're like, hey, you know, I saw this and I really liked what you were saying. And, you know, I just wanted to apologize for how I came across before, you know. I want to say that you're an amazing person and, you know, I just judged you wrong. My mistake. And now I'm like, okay, cool. Well, you want to talk now? He's like, no, you know, I just wanted to say that. And that was really neat of that person. So I appreciate him. I think other people can always be having their own outside perspective and point of view, but your point of view is catered to your previous experiences, what you've been conditioned through, and that setting is going to determine how you make decisions. So that's okay. I understand. Okay. Now, if you can get past those objections in a very moral way, then you can be able to take that compass in the right direction and help more people. That's what sales is. That's what I got to do. That's what I got to learn. Other people and their point of view. Now today, I also decided as a very major decision, I got to talk about this whole thing just so that you know, right? So that you know. Today, as of any other day that I've thought about this, which is probably multiple days within the week, multiple days within the year that I choose to think about, but I don't choose to decide for what is right and near. Not taking shit answers. Getting real with yourself. Knowing that your health is determined by what you know, but not just what you know, what you decide on to go from there, that knowledge that you have in your mental capacity to take hold of it and do something with it. That is so important. So if you can ask people the right questions, you can ask them why, and if they're not deciding, then you don't accept that shit answer. You move forward and you turn it around and ask the right question again. and get the right answer so you can obtain the win, the close, whatever it's gonna be, so that you know you can do something with that person or with you. If you have the knowledge to be able to do something, then you do it. You don't avoid it, you do it. That's the only way. Screw it. Everything else doesn't matter. And once I believe that I can be able to obtain whatever I want because I don't take shit answers from other people, and I'm always seeking the knowledge through asking the right questions to be able to help those people, then I think I'm unstoppable. Because I'm no longer going to take garbage from people's mouths and allow them to walk away with a trash can on top of their head. It ain't gonna work with me, okay? So I'm going to be a man of integrity and not allow conversations to meet completion without that person hanging up because they're frustrated, because I challenge them, because I ask them questions based on of how they feel. You know, I think that can have a lot of negative assets, but it's going to have less liabilities than wasting an entire conversation, relationship, not getting anywhere, not helping them or me. I think when you be real with people, when you be straight and you be truthful morally to be able to ask them the right questions and guide and direct them in the right place, then you're helping serve them, because your transparency is required to be able to help churn within them how they want to be able to demonstrate their lives in truth. So if you can live in that truth and share that truth, then everybody's gonna win. So that's what I want to do. I want to be real to you. Let's do it together. Some people communicate, not many connect. They gotta connect. So that's what I want to do. Boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka boom. Now I'm going to go back and have some fun editing that Idaho video. I'm glad I'm niching down. I'm glad I'm setting sales targets to go all around. Now I have 305 to 304 days. Tomorrow is going to be 303 and no more ways to get to my sales target of 112,000. That's 112K for you. Said $375 a day. That's a lot, man. You better get started. You know when that actual target starts is going to be on day 300, August 1st. $375 a day is what I'm going to have to be making. Before, it was $350. And before that, I don't know, maybe it was $325, okay, at 365 days. But dang, dude, you better hurry up, man, because you ain't sold nothing these past, like, 60 days, and you're going to be screwed if you don't, okay? If you got to make this target, then that means you got to make $12,000 a month, okay? That's hard. Real hard shit if you're not serious. So what I'm going to be looking for is more than a demographic of the people I'm trying to serve, more than just the problem that they have and the result I'm going to create, but I'm going to be searching for traits of these people. Like, this person's so serious about their business that they're not going to end up complaining and turning around and blaming. They're going to show up and pull everything together because they know that they want to interrupt the cycle in their life. And me being a salesperson, I don't happen to be a coach or have that relationship, but I'm going to literally coach the shit out of them, pull out the answers from their own truth, and sell them on their own ideas, because it is their own ideas. To freaking win, to improve, that's their own idea. All they gotta do is have the guts and the balls to suck up from their nuts to their mouth and be like, oh, I want to eat this because I'm hungry. Improvement, what does it take? It's gotta take some sacrifices that I need to make. Yeah, that's awesome, huh? So, Saturday the 28th, I'm going to have my ideal clients, my ideal people, my ideal sales cycle, and we're going to have some fun, dude. The 28th of July, here we go. Coming back from Idaho, here comes the new round of Osada blowing through the ground.